George Glenn Jones was born in Saratoga, Hardin County, Texas, September 12, 1931. He was a country music singer and songwriter. He's probably best remembered for his hit single, He Stopped Loving Her Today, and his tumultuous marriage to famed country singer Tammy Wynette. Additionally, his music career would be marked by frequent bouts of alcoholism and cocaine use, and his wild lifestyle led him to missing many of his performances and earned him the nickname No-Show Jones. Also nicknamed the Possum because of his supposed facial resemblance to the animal. He embraced this nickname. He was raised in poverty in Texas with his 5 brothers and sisters by an alcoholic and sometimes violent father. At age of 7, his parents bought a radio and he heard country music for the first time. When he was 9, he received his first guitar and started playing for money on the streets and clubs of Texas. He left home at 16 and went to Jasper, Texas, where he performed on a local radio station. He then married Dorothy in 1950 at the age of 19, but they divorced within a year and he enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps, spending his entire military time in California. After his military service, he returned to Texas and was discovered by Star Day Records co-owner Pappy Daly, who guided his early career. He then remarried in 1954 to Shirley Ann Corley and recorded his first single, No Money's in This Deal, but it failed to chart. The following year, his single Why Baby Why became a hit and he moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 1959. He then recorded his first #1 hit, White Lightning. For the next 2 years, he continued to record #1 singles. In 1968, he divorced his second wife and married country singer Tammy Wynette the following year. They had a daughter, creating a country couple that would record a sequence of albums and singles topping the charts throughout the 1970s and early 80s. Their marriage was stormy at best due largely to his alcoholism. They then divorced March 1975, but they continued to work together professionally through 1980. In March 1983, he married his fourth and final wife, Nancy, who became his manager and is credited with rescuing him from alcohol and drug abuse. He continued to record and tour throughout the 1990s, despite no longer being a significant presence in modern country radio. He was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1992, and in 1997 released his autobiography, I Live to Tell It All. He died at age 81 after being admitted to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center for a fever and irregular blood pressure.
For those of you who follow our page, country music fans, I have zero doubt that you'll recognize this one. One and only George Jones. Wow. Stuff is kind of humbling. You know, I know that George Jones was just another man like all the rest of us, but sometimes men and women do extra special things that are worthy of merit. George was one of those. Put a golden band on the right left hand. Yeah, I guess he did, didn't he? Hang on one second. It says George Glenn Jones was and is the king of the broken hearts. He sang of life's hardships and struggles in a way that somehow lightened our own. His voice was effortless and unforgettable. He brought unsurpassed emotional eloquence to every song he sang. He was and is the soul of country music. No one will ever fill his shoes. He is at rest, but his music is alive and ageless. He gifted it to all of us, to the joyful and the broken. Wow. Nancy Ann Jones. No teenage boy ever fell harder for a girl than I fell for Nancy. When I met my future wife Nancy on a blind date in November 1981, I had no idea that she would someday save my life. They say love can change the world, the country legend said. I'm here to testify to that. It changed me for sure. Friends, family, doctors, therapists, and ministers had tried to save me, but to no avail. But finally, the power of true love from one woman, Nancy Jones, made the difference and saved me. George Jones. Until his death in 2013, it was Nancy whom George Jones considered his soulmate. From what I'm told, he bought this entire section, this fenced section, and this is more or less the family plot. But I wanted to just run in here real quick while the young lady was looking up some records. The grave that we're looking for, find a grave, once again is wrong. The entire family that we're looking for should be right there on the other side of that little road, but they're not. So y'all just keep that in mind now when you're going for these places. For, you know, if it's listed on Find a Grave, just keep in mind that Find a Grave seems to be batting about 50%, somewhere in that ballpark. It's not nearly as, you know, laid out and simple as you would think. This is Edward Neal Fulton. Eddie was gentle, kind, and caring. He loved God, Jeannie, Texas. His friends and honey will be missed forever. How cool is that? You rest in peace, Edward. And this one here, Heather actually, she asked me to get this one and make sure I didn't pass it.
Gabriel was one of the original Lost Boys that came over from Sudan in 2001. The Lost Boys of Sudan refers to a group of over 20,000 boys who were displaced or orphaned during the Second Sudanese Civil War between 1987 and 2005 in Africa. 2 million were killed and others were severely affected by this conflict. When he passed away at 36 years old, he was buried here in the Jones plot.
Good Morning Africa. Gabriel Majok Kerr. I don't see the young lady headed back yet, so I'm assuming she's still doing some research. In case you guys were curious, look here. Once again, I would imagine a lot of you country music fans out there already know who this is. Amazing, isn't it? All of these historic characters and legendary musicians. We were at Elvis's grave yesterday, It's just, to me, I don't know. To me, it's a big deal. I'll put it that way. It's a big deal to me. I did not see this coming. Another interesting one right here.
Says the road to success is lined with many tempting parking spaces. Dream big, reach for the stars.
Amen, brother.
Say something in this song.
Yeah. It's good advice there, too.
So here's the girl helping us find the Orbison graves. They weren't where Find a Grave said they were, and it's like 42,000 people buried here. So they're so nice here. And it's so pretty here. I just used the bathroom and it looked like I was in a castle or something. Figures we'd come on a day where they have a really loud something going on over there, right? Shady Grove. So these are more modern graves. I don't really like to do those. It's just a little too fresh for some people, you know. These are modern too, but these are awful beautiful. U.S. National Songwriter of the Year 1972, International Songwriter of the Year 1973, Jerry Chestnut. Jerry Chestnut. Looks like Jerry is gone, but Pat is not. Rest in peace, Jerry.
I'm a big don't forget your people thing.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess they were divorced when they both died, which is why they're not buried together, I assume. That's cute. She died at 55 of cancer, right? Sweet.
It is, isn't it? This place is amazing, isn't it?
And there's more. I don't really.
Yeah, this is just one floor.
Yeah, this is the third floor. We got the